I'm in Colombia right now. I literally remember being here on election day last year, and I was just like, oh my God, I'm just gonna go outside. And there's gonna be like so much tension in the air, and it's just gonna be like, oh, and it was like literally just like nothing. Everybody just living their regular lives. Like people, the thing about the US is like we have a tendency to be in our own little bubble, and the US kind of makes it seem like the sun rises and sets on the ass of the United States, and it does not. Now, of course, I'm not saying that things that happen in the US don't um don't impact other countries, because like yes they do, but like y'all, we have not had any issues at all. Having since said, I just came back from a 15-day scouting trip. Yes, they care less about Americans. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Let's see. That's why I be telling people, y'all gotta get out here and see for yourself, because like social media in general, certain people you talk to will really have you thinking something that is just not true at all. Thank y'all so much for the hearts. I appreciate y'all tapping that screen. Drop a number 1 if it's your first time joining any of my lives. Drop a number 2 if you are not new to this, you true to this. You coming back because you rocks with your girl. Let me see a number 2 in the comments, and drop a number 3 in the comments if you would like to live abroad in the next 365 days. That's good. I'm thinking about going to the Philippines or Thailand soon. Yes, T-Bone. I love me some Asia, or I should say Southeast Asia. I don't know if Philippines is considered Southeast Asia. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I know it's like the Philippines are islands, but I don't know. Are they in the Southeast? I have no idea. But I've heard really great things about the Philippines. I've never been, but I would love to go. I would love to, I don't want to live there necessarily, but I would love to visit there. Speaking of, I haven't traveled in too long. And I know like I'm living abroad. So people, when I say that, people kind of look at me like I'm crazy. But like, I want to take a trip somewhere. I'm trying to go and be somewhere new. What is y'all's favorite country? Let me know in the comments. Where is a country that you have traveled to that's been so memorable for you? A country that you traveled to that you love, you would love to go back to? Or if you haven't traveled there yet, what is like a bucket list country for you? Let me know in the comments. Let's just like visualize, fantasize for a little bit about being about being in another country. I actually would really love to go to I would really love to go to Guatemala. I would like to go this year, but looking at the calendar, I'm like, I don't know. Okay. I want to speak in English. I mean, okay, well, speak in English, baby. The rest of us speak in English. So that works for us, Miranda. If Portugal doesn't work out, I'll just obtain my 10-year Chinese visa. Okay, so it's got plan B. So it's got a plan B already. Okay. My bucket list trip is Venice, Italy. Okay, period. Who else? Let me see. Who else has a bucket list country, a country that you would love to travel to or live in? Let me know in the comments. Like I said, I'm really just curious. Welcome, y'all who are just now joining. Welcome. We're going to be talking about how to move abroad from the US. We're going to be talking about my journey, my experience living abroad, moving abroad. I'm going to be answering your questions. If you have any questions about living abroad, feel free to go ahead and drop them in the comments. I will answer whatever I can. If I can't answer it, I'm going to just tell you I can't answer it because I am who I am. Why are you always doing this to me? Okay, there we go. There we go. Y'all hear how extra my washing machine is? It like sings like an entire song. I'd be like, bruh, can you relax? It's still going. Y'all hear it? My top 3, Portugal, China, and Scotland. Wow. I hear Scotland is so beautiful. I was in China last year, but only for like a long layover. So like I never claimed to actually like have like traveled there. How was your visa process? Oh yeah. So let me give my introduction. So welcome y'all. Those of you who are new, welcome. Those of you who are back, welcome back. So my name is Bianca. Last year, my husband and I left the United States to live abroad as digital nomads. So because we are digital nomads, that means that we move around from place to place. We don't just stay in one spot. So we actually have not had to do any like long-term visa things yet. We're still moving around trying to see if we come across a place where we want to stay a little bit more. I don't like the word permanently. I'll say a little bit longer. We don't really use the word permanently whenever it comes to our travels and living abroad. Not yet anyway. We'll see what happens. So yeah, we actually haven't had to do any visa things, but currently in Medellin, Colombia. So last year we got on a one-way flight to Brazil, and then we also went to Spain, Vietnam, Thailand, Japan, China, Indonesia, Panama, Colombia, Mexico. So yeah, we have traveled a lot between last year and this year, but now we are really enjoying being a little bit more settled here in Colombia, but we have not made any hard and fast decisions on if we're going to like actually like apply for a long-term visa yet. So I've definitely heard some mixed things about the digital nomad visa, just about there being like some hoops to jump through, some like unexpected expenses that come up. But to be honest with you, I hear that about a lot of visas, sadly. But it really just depends. Like whenever it comes to like visas, it depends on the country. It depends on which visa you are applying for. But yeah, for us, we haven't really had to worry about that since we are digital nomads. Thank y'all so much for the hearts. I appreciate it. I appreciate y'all tapping that screen. So like I said, today we're going to be talking about how to move abroad from the US. I'm going to be sharing my experiences. I'm going to be talking about some of the differences that I have experienced living abroad versus living in the US. I'm going to be dropping some real life gems and experiences. And for those of you who are going to stick around, I'm going to be also dropping a special offer for those of you who need some guidance on how to move abroad from the US. Depending on what you were looking for, are you looking to bring back? Oh, okay, you're answering the other guy's question. Appreciate y'all. By all means, I always encourage people. Listen, somebody asking questions that I can't answer, jump into the comments. Okay. So in terms of living abroad, moving abroad, etc., one of the things that I always tell people is that for me, moving abroad was actually easier than times that I have moved from like a different city or like a different apartment, whatever it is back in the US. Sometimes we overthink. Thank you, Heaven Sent, for the gift. Sometimes we have a tendency to overthink things. We have a tendency to just assume that things are going to be hard and things are going to be complicated. And I really want to encourage you to start speaking ease and start speaking peace and start speaking success into your move abroad journey. Thank you, Heaven Sent. Make sure that you are not over here overwhelming yourself by just assuming that this journey is going to have to be super complicated. And the other thing I want you to keep in mind is that there's a lot of different ways that you can live abroad. There's not just one right way to do it. So like I mentioned earlier, my husband and I are digital nomads. So we move around from place to place. So that might be something you're interested in, or you might want to be more settled. There's not a right or wrong answer. So let me know in the comments. If you want to be more of a digital nomad and you want to move around, put the word nomad in the comments. But if you're looking to, that always cracks me up. Thank you, Heaven Sent. If you are looking to be more settled and just move to one place, put the word settled in the comments. And there is no right or wrong answer, y'all. It honestly is different strokes for different folks, okay? So, wow, that was like a big drink of water that I took. So whenever I first started living abroad, I literally just remember my eyes being wide open. Like I was like, wow. And I know that this sounds so, I'm not gonna lie to you, like this sounds so ignorant. Like it does. And I am very, very transparent about the fact that I was very ignorant before I started traveling. It's another reason why I'm always, like encouraging people to travel. But whenever I first started traveling, I literally was like, oh my God, there are actually people on the other side of the world doing the same things that we're doing. Like watching other people get in their car and drive to work, watching other people in restaurants, sitting around talking to their friends, watching people in the grocery store, watching people in the grocery store, just, living their everyday lives. Like that was such a big thing for me. Oh, Tebow, you haven't traveled overseas yet? Okay. There's if you want like some guidance on like taking your first trip, there's a free class at the link in my bio. It's called Passport to Airport. You can check that out if you want, and that's like specifically for beginner travelers. But yeah, whenever I first started living abroad, I was like, wow, this is a completely different life. It's literally why I'm constantly encouraging people to travel, because of the way travel and living abroad has changed me. So whenever I first started living abroad, it took me some time to kind of figure out like what it was. But I had this moment where I realized that I just was not, you're so welcome. I just wasn't really having the same conversations that I was having in the US. So I actually just went to brunch with a friend a couple of hours ago. A woman who I met here last year, y'all. Last year. I don't know how many times I've hung out with this woman. I have hung out with her several times. Do you know that today is the first day that we asked each other what we do? Today is like the first day where we actually ask each other about like work. And that's one of the things that I love so much about living abroad is whenever I travel, I always meet people who care a lot more about me than my job. They care a lot more about me than my title. They don't want to just spend all their time talking about work, complaining about work. You know, whenever you go outside of the US, you will start to notice such a difference in the culture in the US versus the culture outside of the US. So outside of the US, people work to live. Wait. Yeah, I said that right. People work to live, okay? It's like, okay, you know, you have work, you have it's a thing that you do, and then you live your life. In the US, the culture is very much live to work. Like we put so much emphasis on work. We put so much emphasis on money. And I'm not saying it's a bad thing to work. I'm not saying it's a bad thing to have money. But what I'm saying is there's so much more to life than working. There is so much more to life than working. The woman who I went to brunch with today, like I said, y'all, I've been hanging out with her since last year, off and on, because I met her here in Colombia last year. And today was the first day that we really even talked about like what we do. And start paying attention to the conversations you have in the US. Thank y'all for the hearts. Start paying attention to the conversations you have in the US and notice. Notice what people are asking you about. Notice that we spend so much time trauma bonding, okay? Start paying attention to these things because, like I said, once I started having more elevated conversations outside of the US, I started to recognize, I'm going to be real with y'all. I was having conversations with people back in the US, and like a lot of them would just kind of give me the ick. Like I would just be like, I don't want to sit here and complain about my job all day. I don't want to sit here. I don't want to sit here and spend 30 minutes talking about my first world problem because my nail lady quit and my other nail lady is out of town and blah, blah, blah. Like I want to get to know other humans. This is another thing that has taught me. This is another thing that has been a big thing for me for living abroad is like recognizing how much more I want to get to know other humans on a deeper level. Okay. I want to talk to other people about your family and your life and, you know, what your life was like growing up and what countries you traveled to and what countries you want to travel to. And sometimes those conversations are really hard to have whenever I am in the US. Now, like I said, this is one of those things where I could not have known this until I lived abroad. Like I couldn't have. Like this was not the kind of thing where I was like, oh, you know, these answers were just going to fall into my lap. And this is why I'm telling y'all, if moving abroad is something that you want to do, make it happen. Okay. Let me know in the comments on a scale of 1 to 10, how serious are you about moving abroad from the US? Drop your number in the comments. And those of y'all who go be dropping a number 10, I'm assuming if you drop a number 10, you've already taken some action, baby, because that's big talk right there. Okay. That is big talk. So let me know in the comments on a scale of 1 to 10, how serious are you about moving abroad? Because a lot of things that people talk about in these apps in terms of moving abroad, I'm not saying that it's bad. I'm not saying that anybody else is a bad creator, but I'm telling y'all, a big part of moving abroad is going to be your mindset. A big part of living abroad, moving abroad is going to be believing that this process and that this life is possible for you. This is the number one setback that I see with people. Like people don't be gassing themselves up. Y'all really be underestimating the power that you have to create a beautiful life for yourself. Okay. Once you start the process of moving abroad, I'm going to be real with y'all. Setbacks are going to come up. Self-doubt is going to come up. There's going to be things that you thought were going to go one way and they're going to go the other way. That is life. That's going to happen to you whether you move abroad or not. So the way that I look at it is, y'all, take the action. Take the action and make it happen, because where there is a will, there is a way. Aunt G said, tried taking a scouting trip to Greece last week, but government shut down, prevented me from leaving the U.S. Lord. See? Yeah, this government shutdown is crazy. But wait a minute. Why did it prevent you from leaving the U.S.? Why couldn't you leave the U.S. just because of the government shutdown? Let me know. Oh, delays and cancellations. Dang. So what are you going to do? Are you going to reschedule? Because we can't give up. Oops. I'm going to put a sticky note on my face because we cannot give up. Thank y'all so much for the hearts. I appreciate y'all. So let me know in the comments, for those of you who've been wanting to move abroad, but for whatever reason it hasn't happened, what is holding you back? What is holding you back from moving? What's holding you back from moving abroad? If someone were to be like, hey, or was someone to be like, hey, you want to move abroad? So like, what's stopping you? Rescheduling for spring 2026, period. Okay, well, at least you already have like a date in mind. I'm here for it. Thank you so much for the rose. Thank y'all for the gifts. Thank y'all for the hearts. Hi, Mr. Jiley. Welcome. So what's stopping y'all? Let me know in the comments. Tell me what is stopping you from moving abroad from the United States. Okay, Balkan Queen says making money abroad. How? You have a lot of different options. You can apply for a remote job in the US that will allow you to work from anywhere. You can teach English. You can start your own business. You can have a side hustle. Y'all, it's 2025. There's so many different ways that you can make money. You do not have to stay in the mindset of thinking that money has to come from a job where you got to get in your car and drive there every day or twice a week or whatever it is. You can learn how to make money remotely. We have so many tools, so much tech, and like at our disposal, y'all, at our fingertips. Take advantage of it. Okay, Kenya, I have heard Kenya has come up so many times today. I am here for it. I have never been to Kenya, but it is 10 out of 10 on my travel list. What countries are good to move to without even visiting? None of them and all of them. There's not one country that's going to be better or worse because you haven't visited. Like that's not that's not how it works. I'm sorry. At the end of the day, what I would say is it depends on what it is that you are looking for. So you said you're looking for a country to go to without visiting, but why don't you want to visit? What about Canada? What's your question about Canada? Thank y'all for the hearts. What country did you move to? I've been in 10 countries since last year. So remember, I'm a digital nomad. I'm saying remember. You probably weren't in here yet. I'm a digital nomad, which means that I move around from place to place. So I'm currently in Colombia. But since last year, I've been in Spain, Vietnam, Thailand, Japan, Indonesia, Panama, Colombia, Mexico. One of the reasons why I'm so passionate about living abroad is because it literally has shifted the way I look at everything. The thing about travel is travel alone just by default makes you a more intelligent human being. And it teaches you to be more open-minded. It teaches you, what the hell is that in his hand? It teaches you to be more open-minded. It teaches you to have more empathy. Like it teaches you to see different sides of honestly all scenarios. And this is why I'm always encouraging people to travel. So you don't have to visit a country before you live there. This is what I always tell people. Listen, there are exceptions to every rule, but here's what I will say. Okay. Hi, Marcia. Here's what I will say. Getting like picking up your entire life and moving to another country without visiting it first, it's going to be a higher risk. Now, if you are somebody who is well traveled, right? Like if you've traveled to a lot of countries before, you're very much used to being out of your comfort zone in another country. You're used to being somewhere where you don't speak the language, or you're just the type of person where you're very go with the flow. Like, you know that you got that kind of mindset where it's like, you can throw me in anywhere and I'm gonna figure it out. Listen, by all means, go for it. Because there are absolutely people who do move abroad to certain places without traveling first. People do it. I just personally don't recommend it. People will ask me like how I was sure about Colombia. And I'm like, this is my third time here. I've been here before. Like this is me personally. I would not plan to live somewhere long-term without visiting first. Like I said, again, that's me. But y'all, the cool thing is there's also so many different ways that you can test drive moving abroad. You don't have to just go take the big leap. You can literally do what I call kind of like a try before you buy option first. And this is another thing I love about living abroad is that there's so many ways that you can do it. There's not one perfect way to move abroad or to live abroad. And let me know if y'all have any questions specifically about moving abroad, because like I said, I'm here to be a resource for y'all. The reason I go live is so that I can answer your questions. And for those of you who want a deeper dive, for those of you who know that like you need some help with this and you need some guidance and you're like, Bianca, I need more information on how to figure out where to go. I need more information on how to figure out how to make money, all of that. I do have my MAPS course back in my bio. I put it back in there before I went live. While I'm on live, you can take off 20% with the promo code 20 spelled out. And there is a payment plan option for anybody who wants to use Afterpay or Klarna. If you're watching on YouTube, it's in the description. If you're watching on TikTok, it's at the link in my bio. So if you are for real about getting the F out of the United States and living abroad, but you just need some help, you got questions that you need answered, you're tired of having 10 videos saved on TikTok, 2 videos saved on Instagram, a blog post, whatever, then you can grab everything you need in the MAPS course. Hello, Chris. Thank you so much for the roses. I appreciate y'all. And I know that like there's been a lot of people who have expressed concerns about like not learning the language, or like if they can move abroad without knowing the language. Y'all, I always tell people you don't have to be fluent to move anywhere. Okay. You will find, thank you, Chris. You will find people who speak English all over, because English is the language of business. Okay. English is the language of business. You will find people who speak English all over the world. You do not need to be fluent. However, if you are going to move somewhere, at least make an attempt to speak the language, okay? At least like make an attempt to learn the basics. Again, I'm not saying that you need to be fluent, but it's respectful to the culture that you're going to. Now, if you're only going to go be somewhere for like a couple months, that's a different thing. But if you're going to pick up your entire life, then be prepared to learn another language. Put the word language in the comments if you are somebody who is willing to learn another language in order to live abroad in another country. Let me see who in here is willing to learn another language. Let me see the word language in the comments. I hope everybody in here comments, because otherwise, like, it's giving closed-minded. I'm gonna be honest with you. It's giving closed-minded. And keep in mind, there are countries outside of the United States where at least one of their native languages is English as well. So like, don't feel like you have to move to a country where you don't know the language, because there are other options for you. Thank y'all so much for the hearts. So what questions do y'all have about moving abroad? I asked this earlier. What do you feel like is stopping you? What is holding you back from moving abroad from the US? Let me know in the comments. Selling my home. Why is that stopping you, B? Is it just because like it's taking some time to sell? Yeah, the market's really down right now. Okay, so what about other options? Hi, All One Life. What about other options for, excuse me, so if the market is down right now, if it's not a seller's market, could you instead rent your home out? Could you hire a property manager and like maybe like put it on, I don't know where you put it at, Zillow, something like for rent? Why are they calling? No. You want me to answer it? Okay, hold on, y'all. Hola. Bien, ¿cómo estás? ¿Qué? Tradición, ¿qué? No, es por una persona. ¿Perdón? ¿Estás seguro? ¿Es para mí? Autoconsumo. Ok, mi esposo puede venir abajo. ¿Está bien? No espero una persona. Okay, gracias. Okay. You can go downstairs and see what that's about because I don't know what that is or who that is. All One Life said try investors instead of a realtor and placing the home on the crowded market where there are a lot of foreclosures. Okay, boom. See, that's why I love going live. People always be willing to come in here and help out. Thank y'all for your patience, by the way. I think like somebody's supposed to be downstairs for us, but I'm like, I don't know who that is and what they trying to come up here for because we're not expecting nobody. Okay, Sharpim said securing a job in the UK first. So are you trying to go to the UK on like a work visa or something? Like what are you trying to do in the UK exactly? Thank y'all so much for the hearts. I appreciate y'all. And let me know what else. What else is stopping y'all from moving abroad? I'm about to start going through everything that comes in the MAPS course for those of you who are looking for some guidance, for those of you who are looking for some help, for those of you who are looking for resources that can answer all your questions about how to move abroad, where to move abroad, a place is good for you. We're about to start going through all of that in just a second. But before I get there, I want to know if anybody else has any specific questions about moving abroad or living abroad before I get into it. Welcome, y'all who are just now joining. Drop your move abroad questions in the comments, and remember, y'all. I do have my maps course at the link in my bio where you can use the promo code 20 to take off 20% while I'm live. Where do you recommend to move to? So that's a great question, B Sweet. It's actually a question I get all the time. And that's why in the maps course, it comes with 12 videos. Y'all spent 3 videos talking about how to determine which place to move to for you. Because the thing is, B Sweet, what's going to be the best place for me is not necessarily going to be the best place for you. So there's a series of questions that I ask to help you determine what's going to be the best place for you. There's a lot of different factors that go into the place that you're going to want to choose, right? The biggest thing is like number one, visas, okay, right? Like where, especially if you're trying to move somewhere permanently. So like understanding what visas are offered in the country that you're interested in, and then seeing if you qualify for any of them or if you will/can qualify for any of them soon. And then the other piece is what is it that you want out of your living abroad life? All One Life says, how are you learning the language there in Medellin? So I've actually been speaking Spanish since 2019. So I started learning Spanish long before I got here to Medellin. But I mean, it's going good. I mean, it's one of those things where I'll be honest, like I feel like I should be further along, but I try not to judge my journey because I'm like, Bianca, like says who, right? Like I know that I can speak Spanish really well, but I'm really trying to work on practicing my listening more. And actually, we have a house cleaner here now who is cleaning our apartment, and she's going to cook for us a little bit later. So today she is going to be my practice. So I've just been really intentional about spending time doing something to practice my listening every day. I also watch Queen of the South on Netflix, which is cool because I'm learning like different dialects because the main character is Mexican, but right now she's currently in Spain. Like I said, like today we have a house cleaner here, so like I'll practice with her. There's actually a girl who I met here in Colombia. She's trying to learn English, so we're practicing together on WhatsApp. I also use Duolingo. I listen to the Duolingo Spanish podcast. So y'all, there's so many different ways to learn a language. You got to really figure out what works best for you. And like my advice around that is to make it fun. There's actually a language school. There's a lot of language schools here. So I'm actually looking into a couple because it's been so long since I've done anything for Spanish in person. So I really want to see how that is. Thank y'all so much for the hearts. It's been a while for me. I was trying Duolingo. Yeah, I mean, Duolingo is not great, but Duolingo is good for beginners. I mean, actually, I stopped it for a while because I'm not going to lie, for a while, I was like, this is too easy. But Duolingo has actually gotten a little bit harder, which is nice. I love Queen of the South. She was trying the social work the drug game. Oh yeah. So did you watch the one in English or the one in Spanish? So I watched the one in English first. I didn't even know there was one in Spanish, but my previous Spanish teacher ended up telling me there was one in Spanish. So I've started watching that one. Oh yeah, the one in English. Oh yeah, that one was so good. Oh my god, I love that one, especially like the first like 2 seasons. Teresa Mendoza from Sinaloa. All right, y'all. So we are going to start getting into everything that you are going to get in the MAPS course. So the MAPS course is called the MAPS is the abbreviated name. It's called the Move Abroad Planning Series. So you're going to get 12 videos. I went live for 12 days in a row. So that is like the video portion of the course. And then there's also a workbook for you to follow along. So you can print it out or you can go through it, while you're still you can go through it like online. And then it also comes with my 23-page resource guide, which is kind of like a written version of the course. So you also have the actual PDF where you can like skim through if needed. But all of that is in the MAPS course, everything that you need to move abroad. If you're watching on TikTok, it's at the link in my bio. If you're watching on YouTube, it's in the description. And just make sure you don't forget to use that promo code 20 spelled out for 20% off. Yeah, she was definitely scaling big time and Queen of the South. All right, y'all. So like I said, there's 12 different videos in the course. So I'm going to start with day one. So day one is mindset. Okay. Y'all, 80% of moving abroad is mindset. It is not just about figuring out which country is best for you. It's not just about visas. It's also about continuing to stay connected to yourself, really. Like it's also about mentally preparing. It's also about being mentally prepared for when somebody doesn't support your journey, being mentally prepared for if a visa that you apply to gets denied, being mentally prepared for somebody who you expected to come through for something and they didn't, right? Like inevitably setbacks are going to happen. So you want to make sure you are practicing whatever you need to do specifically to keep your mindset in the right place. So I go through like several tactics and tools that you can use to make sure you're actually mentally preparing for this journey. I also talk about how to manifest living abroad. I don't know what my spiritual's at, but I am. Okay. So, hold on, y'all. Babe, what was it? The same people from yesterday. About the gas?
And they just have some questions on how many people live and stuff.
Oh. Okay. All right. Thank you.
Some of this stuff just need checking. That's not be giving out. You're using too much energy.
Okay. Hi, Markel. Almost abroad. Finally got my money to go. Let's get it. Oh, are you going to China? I see we got that name change in here. That's so dope. I'm so happy for you. Y'all, I miss Asia. I really do. I miss Asia so much. Okay, yeah. So day number one is going to be mindset. Day number two is preparing to leave. So things like health insurance. That's one of the questions that I get all the time, y'all. Because people be like, "Oh, well, how is healthcare outside of the U.S.?" Y'all, in most countries, healthcare is a lot less expensive outside of the U.S. Y'all, listen. Drop the word yes in the comments if y'all have ever been nervous about going to the doctor or the dentist or, a specialist because you were afraid of how much it costs. And you can be honest, because I can put my own yes in the comments. I know that was so normal for me in the US. But y'all, when you go abroad, you would be surprised at how affordable healthcare is, especially when you're making USD. You would be surprised at how affordable healthcare is, even if you don't have health insurance. Literally, even if you don't have health insurance, and people get amazing healthcare abroad all the time. Okay. So as far as health insurance, you have US companies that will offer international health insurance. There's digital nomad health insurance. There's international health insurance companies. A lot of people, based on what I've seen, they will get emergency insurance. They won't have the same level of coverage as the US, but they'll have emergency insurance. So you have a lot of options whenever it comes to health insurance. So we talk about all of these in day two. Hi, Aline. Who is Brianna? Did you call me Brianna? This happens, unfortunately, more than I would like to admit. I've never been to Portugal, so I cannot. I don't know. I've never been there. I've never been there personally, so I cannot. So yeah, I cannot tell you. For any questions about a specific country, y'all, you're gonna have to do You're gonna have to do your own research because it's okay. I was just like, it was just like, it was so bold. It was just like Brianna, period. It's okay. Bali has some of the best healthcare. I have a friend there who survived cancer. Damn, I believe it. Also, I mean, Eastern medicine is just so much better than Western, but let me not even go down that rabbit hole. Thank y'all so much for the hearts. But yeah, I've never been to Portugal personally, but y'all, like in the MAPS course, I give a lot of information about like countries that I've been to, visas, but like you're gonna have to do your own research because visas are different for every country. And this is not just for me, it's for anybody. You always want to make sure you double and triple check because these things change all the time. And to be honest with you, and especially if you're applying for a long-term visa, I personally would recommend hiring somebody because listen, it's just to me, it's not worth it if things go left. You are so welcome. And welcome y'all who are just now joining. We're going through everything that you get in the MAPS course. If you're watching on TikTok, the MAPS course is at the link in my bio. If you're watching on YT, it's in the description. Don't forget to use that promo code 20 spelled out for 20% off. And there is an Afterpay and Klarna option for anybody who would like to use a payment plan. Okay, so we talked about day one, which was mindset. Now we're in day two. So health insurance, moving and packing. Like, what do you actually need to do for the move? Okay, like I talked to you about the way that I pack, things that I brought with me, things that I recommend bringing with you if you are someone who, whenever it comes to packing, you get a little bit nervous or you're like worried about leaving things, all of that. And there's packing lists in there as well. How much money you need to move abroad? This is a question I get all the time as well. And y'all, the answer is it depends. The answer is it depends. Everybody is going to need a different amount. There's so many factors that go into how much money you need to move. So in the course, like on day two, I actually spent time walking through how to know what expenses you need to make sure you can pay for. We also talk about how to tell your family and manage relationships. Who's told their family that they want to move abroad? Let me see. Put a yes in the comments if you have already told your family that you want to move abroad, and put the words "not yet" in the comments if you have not told them. And there's no right or wrong answer, y'all, with these questions. These are not trick questions. I am just genuinely curious because I always like to know about like different people's journeys. So yeah, let me know in the comments. Put a yes if you have already told your family, and put "not yet" if you have not told them. Curious, sis. Nobody not gonna answer me today. Y'all just not gonna talk back to me. Rude. Y'all be out here giving IG energy, y'all. Don't be in here lurking, okay? I'm a human. Talk back to me. Who's told their family? Who's told their family they want to move abroad? Let me see a yes in the comments. All One Life says, nope, telling anyone until I'm gone. Listen, I support it. I fully support it. Y'all know that like earlier we talked a little bit about like mindset and like mentally preparing. And I'm gonna be honest, like for some of y'all, mentally preparing means only talking to specific people. For some of y'all, mentally preparing means not talking to certain people about your move abroad journey because y'all, it sucks, but not everybody's gonna support you. Not everybody is going to support your move abroad journey. And you know what? You already have a lot that you're dealing with mentally, right? You're already trying to gas yourself up. You already have your own feelings of imposter syndrome or self-doubt. You don't need anybody else adding to it, okay? If you have people in your life and they don't support your move abroad journey, you don't have to talk to them about it, okay? I mean, I know there are exceptions to every rule, but All One Life said, I don't want to hear nothing negative. Listen, we on the same wave. We are on the same wave, okay? We told our close family and friends, and everybody else found out after we were already there. Red Lipstick said, I'm contemplating getting into healthcare here in the U.S. so I can move with a whole new career. I fully support it, y'all. I think that one of the biggest things about moving abroad is the ability to be flexible. Like there's been people who have been like in my DMs and my comments, talking about, oh, I want to move abroad, but I can't because of my job, or like, oh, I can't because I do this type of work. So you really got to ask yourself, what's more important to you, your current job or living abroad? And if it's your current job, then that's cool. Maybe you just slow travel. Maybe you go, you go and slow travel for a few weeks and you come back home. But y'all, You have to ask yourself what is more important to you, because y'all, people change careers all the time. People change careers all the time. Today, I went to brunch with a woman who is a therapist. She's been a therapist as long as I've known her. I just found out today she used to be a singer. She used to be a singer in a jazz band. I was like, girl, what? I had no idea. None. You can change careers. There's so many different ways to make money online. Y'all have to stop thinking that money has to come from a job, okay? It can. I'm not saying the money can't come from a job, but I'm saying that there's other ways that you can be making money. Actually, in the course, we spent 2 whole days. There's 2 videos about how to make money while living abroad. For those of you who are just now joining, we're going through everything in the MAPS course. It's at the link in my bio. And while I'm live, because I'm here for the action takers, you can use the promo code 20 for 20% off. If you're watching on YouTube, it is in my, the MAPS course is in the description. She said, I only work to earn. I'm here for it. Okay, so day 2, health insurance, moving, packing, how much money you need to move abroad, how to tell your family and manage these relationships, the documents that you're going to need. Y'all, this is all day 2. Okay, all the stuff that we've gone over, we're only 2 days into the course, okay? We still have 10 more. This is why when I say everything you need is in here, it's because I built this course based on the questions that y'all have been asking me. Okay. Drop a number 3 in the comments if you're ready to know about what's in day 3. Oh my God, I'm gonna open a window in here. Sis in here mopping, and I'm like, ooh, cleaning chemicals. Drop a number 3 in the comments if you want to know what is in day 3. Let me see them number 3s. Oops. Thank y'all for tapping that screen. I appreciate y'all. Period, red lipstick and law. I love that name. Okay, y'all. So we spent 3 days in this course, okay? 3 days talking about how to choose the best place for you. Because honestly, this is literally what I hear all the time, right? The number 1 question I get is, how am I going to make money? The number 2 question I get, where do I go? What is the best country? This is why we spent 3 whole days talking about how to choose the place that's best for you. Y'all, understanding the place that is best for you outside of like the visa information comes down to what it comes down to the life that you are trying to live. Marsha said, I am planning on also getting a part-time 9-to-5 customer service job. You suggested to update your resume to the job you're applying for. Any advice or suggestions? I would love an example if possible. Yeah, absolutely. So are you talking about an example of like the resume? So like, yeah. So like if you are applying for a certain job, you want to pay attention to the keywords that they are using, the keywords, the skills. If they say we are looking for someone who is very detail oriented, make sure that you have detail oriented on your resume as a skill. If they say we're looking for somebody who is proficient in the Microsoft Office suite, make sure that you have Microsoft Office as tools. You know, like I don't know exactly how your resume is set up, but whatever the job is asking for, you want to make sure that you're using that same language. You want to make sure that you're using that same language in your resume and your cover letters, all of that. Thank y'all for the hearts. I appreciate y'all tapping that screen because it is free for y'all, but it means so much to us. So please make sure y'all are double tapping. I really appreciate it. Oh my God. Every time I log into TikTok, I just see like recipes because that's like all I've been looking at lately. And now I'm like, dang. All these good ass recipes on here. Oh, I need to take my hair out, but I am not prepared for what's next. And I don't know what's next, which is why I'm like, what is going on here? Okay, so day number 3, like I said, we spent 3 days talking about how to choose the place that is best for you. So day number 3, we talk about moving around, like traveling from place to place versus settling, right? Because y'all, depending on if you're planning on moving abroad and just going to one place or whether you're going to travel, that's going to look completely different. So let me know in the comments. Drop the word nomad if you're planning on traveling around more like a digital nomad, and drop the word settled if you're planning on just moving to one place, having a home base and staying there. And there is no right or wrong answer. Like really, there are advantages and disadvantages to both. Okay. Me and my husband have been digital nomads since last year. So I I can attest to the advantages and disadvantages. And now we're a little bit more settled. Hi, Nemesis. Thank y'all so much for the hearts. So in day 3, we talk about the pros and cons of moving around versus settling, what you need to consider. We also talk about the cost of living, how you're going to calculate the cost of living in the country or city that you are moving to, so you can know how much money you need to live in your day-to-day life. Nemesis 24 said, I want to live in Thailand, honestly, but maybe try other places to really see what fits me better. Yeah, I mean, I think it's a great option. It's nice whenever you can go to a place being confident that you already love it, okay? And I get that not everybody does this, but I'm telling you, it is a perk. So it sounds like you've already been to Thailand. I love me some Thailand. Okay, let me keep going, y'all. So day number 3, moving abroad versus settling, cost of living. If you have any specific wants, if you have any specific needs that you know are important to you. For example, I'm Black, spoiler alert, okay? One thing that is important for me when living abroad somewhere long-term, it's important for me to be in a place that has a Black community. And I'm talking Black from the US, okay? Like I want to be somewhere where there are already other people from the US who have moved here. Why? Because number 1, I want to know about their experiences. And number 2, because I love Black culture and I'm not willing to give it up. Okay. I love being here in Colombia. I love Colombian culture. I love spending time with Colombians as well. I mean, obviously that obviously is like the most important piece, but I also am like, if I don't have to give up Black culture, then why would I? Why would I? I only been to the Philippines, but have no clue how to begin to start this process. No, I hear you, Nemesis. So we're actually going over everything that's in my Move Abroad Planning Series course. Everything that you need to move abroad is going to be in the course. And while I'm live, I'm giving y'all 20% off the entire course because I am here for the action takers. Just make sure you use that promo code 20. For those of you who are trying to figure out how to make this happen, you're tired of trying to figure it out on your own, you're tired of having 100 videos saved in all these different places, this is literally why I made the course, y'all. For those of y'all who are serious, for those of y'all who feel called to this life, you're ready to get out of the United States, but you need some guidance, make the investment into yourself. Make the investment into yourself and learn everything that you need to move abroad from the United States, and take advantage of the live bonus while it's here. Jessica said, isn't the purpose of moving to another country to be part of that culture? I would say there's a lot of different purposes to moving to another country, but to be part of the culture, yeah, that is a big part of it. Are you saying that somebody said that it wasn't? I don't know why you asked it like that. Isn't thank y'all so much for the heart. So yeah, like I said, me being Black, that's just one example. Maybe you are part of the LGBTQ. Maybe you are part of the LGBTQ plus community and you want to make sure that you're going to a place that is going to be a safe haven for you. You want to make sure that you have an LGBTQ plus community when you are abroad. That's another example, right? Maybe you have a disability, so you're looking for places that are more accessibility friendly. Maybe you have kids, and so you want to go somewhere where you know there's other expat moms or other expat dads. So you will actually have So you will have your own community out there for that as well. Does it cover the job aspect? That's my main concern. Yes, absolutely. So there's 12 videos. We spent 2 whole days talking about different ways to make money, including my favorite remote job resources, as well as ways that you can make money outside of a job. Y'all, listen, apply for your remote jobs. I'm not telling you to quit your job, but I'm telling you, open your mindset. There are other ways that you can be bringing in extra income. And the really cool thing about being outside of the United States is it's a lot less expensive. So it's not even like, oh, I got to figure out how to start a business and make $8K a month. No, y'all, so many places, $2,000, $3,000 a month, and you're good. So to answer your question, Nemesis, yes, that is in the course as well. Moving abroad with pets, because that's a question that I get a lot as well. So there's a lot of different, well, maybe not a lot, but there are several options for moving abroad with pets as well. So we also go over that in the course. Education options. If you are moving abroad and you need to like put your kids in school or something like that. Different visa options. Countries that are offering the digital nomad visas. Countries that offer dual citizenship. Taxes. All of this. Let me see. I love this for real. I'm so glad. You are so welcome. Does the course include worldwide income tax information for U.S. citizen? Yes, there is information about taxes. I was literally saying that as you were saying it. That's crazy. But yes. So the thing about taxes, and you want to make sure you check for each country that you're going to. Most of the time, if you're not in the country for 180 consecutive days, you can avoid paying the taxes. Now, like I said, you do want to double check because it might be different for the country you're going to, but that's typically what it is. And you're not going to get away from paying U.S. taxes. That's just not going to happen. But yes, there is information about taxes in there as well. We go over that in day 3. All right, y'all, drop a number 4 in the comments if y'all are ready to see what is in day number 4. And y'all, like I said, all this information I've gone over, we're only 3 days in out of 12. The reason I know that everything you need to move abroad is in the course because I literally built this course based on the questions that y'all have been asking me. Thank y'all for the hearts. I appreciate y'all. Bianca, what are you doing, girl? Okay, there we go. I need to scooch you back over a little bit. Okay, there we go. Okay, so day number 4, we're still talking about how to choose the place that is best for you. Action taker here. May I have that code again, please? Absolutely. The code is 20. Like it's the number 20. Well, it's the word 20 spelled out for 20% off. Let me know if you have any questions. Okay, so day number 4 is y'all, I talked a little bit about this earlier. For the people who were like, where's the best place for me to live? Which country is, whatever it is. This is where I go through a series of questions. We're gonna let you get to know you a little bit better, okay? This is where I ask you a series of questions so you're so welcome, so you can get crystal clear on the best place for you. Because y'all, I'm gonna tell you, me and my husband have made a lot of mistakes. We have made a lot of mistakes since last year. One thing that me and my husband learned the hard way about living abroad whenever we were looking for housing, one thing that we learned the hard way is that we don't like to share a bathroom. We learned very, very quickly that we do not like to share a bathroom. If we ever travel and we go somewhere and our apartment only has one bathroom, that bathroom better be outside of the bedroom. And I know that seems like a simple thing. I know that seems like a small thing, but y'all, it makes a difference. And maybe if you're moving abroad solo, that might not apply to you, but let me think of another example. Okay. But another one right there, because I looked over here at my husband out here on the balcony. We learned that, y'all, we like a balcony. We like to be able to sit outside. One of the things that's changed me after living abroad is how much time I spend outside. In the US, I was constantly just looking at screens, my laptop, my phone, the TV. Now here, we just be sitting outside on the balcony, living life, loving life. So that's another thing that we decided is a non-negotiable for us. I'm going to tell y'all something else. Look, y'all, in the United States, look, drop the word yes in the comments if you're willing to admit you love a big couch, okay? We get so used to having these big couches where you can stretch out. I'm going to tell you, you get outside the US, them couches be tiny. You get outside of the US and them couches be tiny. And I'd be like, so that's another thing that we learned. We learned that whenever we're looking at apartments, we need a couch that we can lay out. And that's another reason why we actually love our apartment here. She said, I concur. 2 bathrooms is a must for me, period. And it's also nice when you have the extra room because then people can come and visit you when they have their own space. So anyways, day 4, one of the things that we spend time doing, Nemesis says, yes, the big couches are awesome. Y'all, I'm telling you, there's so many little things that you don't think about. For example, outside of the US, a lot of places, they only have one TV in the house. So if you are someone who like you want to be able to watch TV without having to lie down in bed, that's something that you want to pay attention to. Y'all, we've been in like 25 different apartments since last year. I'm telling you, okay? These are things that you want to get crystal clear on before you move because it makes the world of a difference. Another big thing for us is, hi, Trina. Another big thing for us is being somewhere walkable, okay? We left car culture behind in the US. We need to be able to walk to get something to eat. We need to be able to walk to the grocery store, okay? We need to be able to walk if we well for me, I need to be able listen, for me, I need to be able to walk to the gym, right? Like these are all things that are important to us. Again, we did not take these things into account, okay? We struggled. I'm in Colombia right now. Nemesis, we struggled in the beginning, especially like moving to places where like we weren't working out and we were used to being active. Like we were like, this fucking sucks. This sucks. Okay. So anyways, day number 4, I go through a series of questions to help you get clear on your wants, your needs, and your non-negotiables. Okay. The other thing we go over in day number 4 are try before you buy options. We talked about this earlier. Okay. For the people who are like, Bianca, I would love to live abroad, but I need to be able to take a test drive first. I'm not sure if I'm ready to just uproot my entire life. Okay. Like I want to, I took your advice and I can move on a retired visa to Bangkok. Yes, period, Trina. And you are so welcome. Like I said, y'all, I'm here to be a resource for y'all. Like this is literally what I live for. So when we go into Bangkok, 24 access food supermarket like Walmart used to be. Yeah, there's well, it's not Walmart obviously, but we have some 24-hour stuff around us as well. So anyways, we also go over try before you buy options. So ways that you can test out living abroad. Maybe you need to live abroad for a few weeks, for a few months before you take the full leap, okay? There is nothing wrong with that, y'all. I did my own test drive in 2019. I'm being very transparent about my journey, okay? I had a test drive before we took this big leap last year. So in day no, I know what you mean. So in day number 4, we also talk about try before you buy options. You are so welcome. Leaving August 2026. Oh, girl, that's going to be coming up sooner than you think. I love Bangkok. I'm so excited for you. Okay, so y'all, that's day number 4. Drop a number 5 in the comments if you are ready for day number 5. For those of you who are just now joining, we're going over everything that you get in my Move Abroad Planning Series course. If you're watching on TikTok, it's at the link in my bio. If you're watching on YouTube, it's in the description. Use the promo code 20 spelled out for 20% off while I am live. Let's get it. Y'all hit that wash machine again. My ideal place is Panama or Ghana. Period. Have you been? Have you visited yet? Period, Trina. Trina said, join the course family. You won't be disappointed. Thank you, Trina. I appreciate the love. Y'all, listen, Trina already invested and Trina already out here taking action, okay? Y'all better get like Trina. I told you I'm here to talk to the action takers today. I'm here to talk to the people who are determined to not be sitting in the same place next year. The same place next year, thinking about how if this time last year, if you would have started, you would have already been abroad. I'm going to Panama first. Okay, period. I actually have a video on my YouTube channel of an interview that I did with a woman who lives in Panama, if you want to check that out. But because I know Panama is a really popular place for living abroad. Okay, y'all. So day number 5, I told y'all we spent 3 days in this course talking about how to choose the place that's best for you. So day number 5, this is where I give you my own recommendations. This is where I talk to you about the countries that I've traveled to, the countries that I've lived in. Y'all, I've traveled to 24 different countries. I have met hundreds of travelers, hundreds of expats, hundreds of immigrants, hundreds of digital nomads, okay? And I'm constantly asking people about other places that they've been. So this is where I'm going to give you my personal recommendations. And I also share just like some of the most popular places to move abroad and why. Okay, Trina, see you later. Thank you for joining. So that is day number 5. Day number 6 is traveling and living abroad on a budget. Okay. Thailand is over popularity. You know, you would think that because I feel a lot of people online talk about living in Thailand, but y'all, Thailand is a country, okay? It's not a city. And trust me, I was in Thailand for 9 weeks last year, and I mostly saw Thai people. Like, you do not you're not the first person who said this. Like, I've seen people being like, oh my God, like Thailand is being overrun. No, it's not. I promise you it's not. And actually, Thailand is not even the number one popular country that Americans are moving to. It's actually Portugal. Thank y'all so much for the hearts. My husband's so sweet. Okay, so yeah, like you and like I said, I get it because I feel like there are a lot of people online who talk about living in Thailand, but trust me, it is not overcrowded. Okay. Thank y'all so much for the hearts. Yeah. So day 7 is traveling and living abroad on a budget. Y'all, one of the reasons why my husband and I have been able to afford traveling to 10 countries since last year is because we have learned how to travel on a budget. Okay. Like we know how to find the places where we eat lunch for $4, $5. Okay. Like I know where to get. Y'all got my hair braided here for $60. I got my nails done the other day. This was $12. Like, we like literally like y'all, our house cleaner is here right now. Okay. Like every week we have someone come here to clean our house and to cook for us. These are things that were not affordable for us in the US. Okay. They were not affordable for us, but they are affordable abroad. I even talked to you about how to travel on a budget, right? So for those of you who are going to be like moving around from place to place, for those of you who are crazy, wow, yeah, I know. For those of you who also want to even learn how to like budget your flight, whether you're talking about budgeting your flight, finding the best deal for your flight out of the US as well as in between countries if you're going to be moving around. Yep, Spain and Portugal, they have huge expat groups as well. You'll take my word. Okay. So day number 7 is housing. Where are you going to live? I'm in Colombia. Where are you going to live? How are you going to find it? How are you going to know the best neighborhoods to stay in? How do you make sure that you know how to negotiate, especially if you are staying long term? How do you know which places are best for if you have kids and you need to be near schools, or which place is best if you are, maybe you are a partier, you want to be near some nightlife, right? So this is all in day 7. I'm glad you love it. Thank you for joining. For those of y'all who are new in here, we are going over everything in my MAPS course, the Move Abroad Planning Series. It has everything you need to get the F out of the United States and live abroad. I've been going through the stuff in the course for like the last 30 minutes, y'all. We are barely scratching the surface. Everything you need is in here. Make the investment for those of you who are serious. I done said this on here before, okay? Like, I'm not talking to everybody. I'm talking to the people who feel living abroad in your spirit. I'm talking to the people who feel called to live this life. I'm not just talking to the people who want to move abroad because it looks sexy on social media, okay? I'm talking to the people who this time next year, in the next 1 to 2 years, you are trying to be living your best life abroad, okay? I grew up black and broke in the U.S., lower middle class, with a college dropout mom and a dad who didn't even finish high school. There is no reason that I can do this and you can't, other than the fact that you keep holding yourself back. The information is out here. Stop saying you don't know and get the information that you need to make it happen, because where there is a will, there is a way. Everything you need is in the course. For those of you who already got it, thank you for your business. For those of you who are still over here debating, y'all got a couple more minutes before I get off of here. For those of you who want to take advantage of that live bonus to get that 20% off. I thought about Panama and Ghana because lots of Caribbeans like myself over there. Yeah, I mean, honestly, I feel like Caribbean people are everywhere. But, I mean, I hear you. Okay, day number 8. Well, days number 8 and 9. Both of these days we spent talking about how you're going to make money while you are abroad. This is literally the number one question that I get out the gate. Bianca, I want to move abroad, but what am I going to do? How am I going to work? How am I going to make money? How do you afford this? This is literally the number one question that I get. This is why we spend 2 days talking about how you're going to make money in your new country, how you're going to be able to make money from Spain and Panama and Ghana in Thailand. Y'all, remote jobs, yes, remote jobs are an option. And this is why I give you my favorite remote job resources in here. I'm talking about websites where you can actually filter by work from anywhere remote jobs, okay? Not just the jobs that claim they remote, but then you got to make sure you're working from North Carolina or South Dakota. Truly remote jobs. So I list my favorite remote job resources in the course. We also talk about starting a business. We talk about different ways that you can earn money online, different side hustles. Y'all got to stop sleeping on yourselves. You already have skills, experiences, talents that you can be turning into money. You already have skills that people are willing to pay you for. Learn how to turn them into an online business. It's 2025. You're literally leaving money on the table if you're not making money online in 2025 with YouTube and TikTok, ChatGPT, y'all. It's in the description on my days. If you go to the description of the video, you can click on the link, and then it's gonna take you to the page. Y'all, everything you need is in the course, okay? So yeah, so days 8 and 9 are all about making money while you are abroad. Day number 10 is how to adjust to your new life. How to make sure that you are getting immersed in a new culture. You're supporting the locals. You're studying the culture. You're learning the language. I know a lot of people ask me about different ways to learn the language, how to get involved in the communities. All of these things are in day 10 because it's not just about the stuff that you're doing right now. It's not just about the prep work. It's also about what you're going to do when you get there. It's about your lifestyle when you get there. You're moving to this new country. Get immersed in your new country. Don't just go there and try to hide in the house. Like, how are you going to like make friends? Okay. So like all of this is in day number 10. You found it. Okay, perfect. Let me know if you have any questions. Don't forget to use that promo code 20 for 20% off. And then day number 11 is how to keep home in your heart. Okay. You might be leaving people back home and you want to know how to stay connected. I'm going to be honest with y'all. I have struggled, okay? I have struggled with staying connected with family and friends back home because life be lifing. Life gets hectic. Like you think it's not just busy in the US, okay? It's busy everywhere. So me and my husband have found creative ways for us to stay connected with our people back home, okay? Also, for those of you who have, whether it's tangible or intangible, things that you want to bring with you, things that are near and dear to your heart, and you feel like, oh, I have to give this up just because I live abroad. Y'all, says who? Says who? My husband is a personal trainer. He trains clients here in person in Colombia. He trains people online as well because he learned how to make money on his own, like I be trying to teach y'all how to do. But yeah, y'all, like I said, there's so many different ways that you can learn how to do this. Take advantage. Take advantage. Stop being afraid to invest in yourself. I've invested tens of thousands of dollars in my personal and professional development to get to where I am today. Okay? Even though I didn't grow up with money, even though I didn't grow up with resources, I didn't grow up in a world where people were talking about travel and living abroad, the things you see me doing today. Now I have multiple streams of income. Now I've traveled to 24 different countries. Now I'm living abroad because I was willing to get out of my comfort zone. You cannot keep doing the same thing in your life and expecting different results. I'm going to say that one more time. You cannot keep doing the same things and expecting different results. You keep saying you don't know how to get started. You keep saying, well, I don't know how to make money. Well, I don't know where to go. This is literally why I made the MAPS course, y'all. This is why I made it. So you could have a one-stop shop place for you to get all the information that you need to move abroad. For those of you who are serious, for the action takers, make the investment and start it today. Start it today. Grab your pen, grab your paper, grab your popcorn. Y'all, sit back, play, because there's a workbook that goes along with the videos as well. Get your workbook, y'all. Put in the work. For those of you who are serious, put in the work because, y'all, none of us are getting out of this life alive. You only get to do this one time. How many more years are you going to allow to pass? You over here saying that you want to move abroad. You watching everybody else doing on social media. You saving all the videos. And then another year has gone by. It's November. Another year has gone by that you could have already been in Spain. You could have already been in Portugal. You could have already been in Thailand. If you would have started months ago, if you would have started years ago, you can literally start where you are. The code isn't working for me. Really? It was working. Let me try it. But somebody else already got it and the code was working. Is it giving you like an error message or something? Let me see. TWENTY. Yeah. Can you check the spelling or maybe try to let me see if I can put it in the comments and then maybe you can copy paste it, or you may have accidentally put an extra space because sometimes I do that too. Can you try copy pasting that and let me know if it's still not working? Thank y'all for the hearts. I see that you are an online fitness coach. Yeah, my husband, like he does have some clients that he trains virtually, but he really loves training in person, to be honest. But even though like he's still out here making it work. And then, by the way, y'all, day 12 is the FAQ video. So, y'all, all these things that we went over, mindset, preparing to leave, health insurance, moving, packing, moving around versus being in one spot, moving with kids, moving with pets, how to pick the place that is best for you, traveling and living abroad on a budget, how you're going to find housing, how are you going to make money while you're abroad, how you're going to learn the language, how are you going to get immersed in a new culture, how to keep home in your heart. All of these things are in the MAPS course. And then, oh wait, no, I already went over day number 12. Yeah, so like I said, day number 12 is FAQ. Y'all got a couple more minutes for those of y'all who want to take advantage of the live. Does anybody have any questions? Ask me anything, y'all. If you have questions about the course, if you have general questions about moving abroad or living abroad, ask me. I go live so that I can be a resource for you. I don't care to just be another content creator. I'm up here because I want you to get your ass on the plane. I'm up here because I want to empower you to start taking action towards this life you want to live. I want you to stop putting off what it is that you want. Veronica, the course is in the description. If you're watching on TikTok, it's at the link in my bio. If you're watching on YouTube, if you go to the description, it's the first link in there. But don't forget to use that promo code 20 to take the 20% off. Y'all, okay, that's really weird. Okay, but then I got nothing to do with this. What was I saying? I lost my train of thought. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Does anybody have any questions about moving abroad? Does anybody have any questions about what's in the course? Any questions about anything you need to do before moving abroad? Oh yeah, that's what I was saying. I was saying that I'm here to be a resource for y'all. Okay. You can lead a horse to the water, but you cannot make them drink, y'all. At the end of the day, you have to be willing to take action. You have to be willing to take action. Oh, I do have a podcast interview tomorrow. Yeah, it really is funny how life works, how you can be afraid to do something, and then you just step your toe in. You just step your toe in, and then you'd be surprised at how things start working out, okay? The person who you are looking at today, y'all, this was not always my life. I had to get to where I am today. I had to do mindset work. I had to make investments. I had to gas myself up. I had to get out here and make a shit ton of mistakes. I had to do all of these things to get to where I am today. And this is why I'm here to tell you that this life is possible for you. This life is possible for you. Okay. I am an oil field vagabond. I wonder, Asia, I'm looking to network. Okay. Well, welcome, Donnie. Thank y'all so much for the hearts. I appreciate y'all. Okay, I'm going to give y'all a couple more minutes for anybody who wants to take advantage of the live bonus. Those of you who already got it, thank you again for your business. And like I said, y'all can let me know if you have any questions about the course. I also want to make sure, oh my God, I'm losing my train of thought again. This is why I be going live in the mornings, because I be going live in the afternoon and I'd be like, Bianca, what the hell are we talking about? I'd be like, what are we talking about? Oops. Okay, there we go. Okay. Thank you for the follow. Thank y'all for the hearts. I appreciate y'all. What questions do y'all have for me? What else y'all want to know? Living abroad, moving abroad. Let me know what questions y'all have. Was planning and moving towards this, but now worried about getting my 2 big dogs and 2 cats moved. Renee, you can move abroad with pets, sis. People move abroad with pets all the time. There's a couple who we met in Mexico. They actually went back and got their 2 big dogs, and now they're in Mexico. And I think cats I think are even easier. You can absolutely move abroad with pets. There's like pet relocation agencies, depending on, the airline. Like sometimes you can just fly your pets like cargo. You have options. And I have information about moving abroad with pets in the course as well. Y'all got to stop being afraid to invest in yourselves. And this is also why, I have the payment plan I have Klarna and Afterpay available for anybody who wants to take advantage of the payment plan. But y'all, don't let that be the reason that you're so welcome. Do not let that be the reason that stops you. Do not let that be the thing that stops you from moving abroad. Because like I said, y'all, time is fleeting. Time is fleeting. I'm not going to lie to you. I had a little bit of a panic whenever I saw that it was November already. I was like, oh my God, what is going on? For Colombia, do you recommend getting legal counseling before arriving? What do you mean legal counseling for what exactly? Are you talking about for moving abroad? I recommend, if you're going to be applying for the visa, then I do recommend you working with a specialist if that's what you mean. But I want to make sure that is the question that you're answering. That you're asking. And Red, listen, let me know if the code still wasn't working for you. Because like I said, whenever I put it in, it went through. Ooh, a house sit in Belize. Let's see. Wow, December 1st to December 31st. Y'all better stop sleeping on trusted house sitters. You can go stay in somebody's nice ass house and not even pay no rent all over the world in exchange for taking care of their pets. If you are a pet person, which I am personally, I love trusted house sitters. We've actually we've done it a few times, and we have it. I actually talk about trusted house sitters in the course as well. All right, y'all. If y'all don't have any more questions, then I'm about to get up off of here. Like I said, if you already got the live, if you already got the course, thank you for your business. Just let me know. I was in the wrong link. The code works. Okay, perfect. I was actually thinking maybe whenever I go live, I should just clear out my bio to make it easier, because I do feel like I be having a lot of stuff at the link in my bio and it can get kind of confusing. And I feel like some of them it might sound a little bit similar. But okay, I'm glad you found it. All right. If y'all don't have any more questions, then I'm about to get up off of here. But cheers to the action takers. I am so excited for you. Let me know if y'all have any questions about the course. More importantly, let me know whenever you go into a new country, because that is my favorite thing, is to be able to cheer y'all on. So otherwise, please make sure y'all hit subscribe, hit follow, and yeah, I'll catch y'all next time. Thank y'all again for joining. Ciao.